3, 2, 1.
You ready?
Listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Woo, I'm proud of that one.
I'm out of breath just listening.
Thank you. We are the Real Pineapple. This is Hunter, and I'm here with the Pride of Idaho, Scott. Scott, how you doing, sir?
Fantastic, Hunter. Are you okay? You a lot of breath?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah, pay no attention to that lighter. That's lighting my bowl right now. You didn't hear anything.
No. Allegedly. That was allegedly speaking. You are lighting water pipe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But we are talking about a movie that I'm real excited to get your thoughts on. We're talking about Rampage, and not the Archer type of Rampage, even though that's a great Rampage. We're talking about the Rampage starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who, I gotta admit, man, he is becoming...
He's a superstar at this point.
He is, and I gotta be honest, man. He's becoming he's the closest thing to a Schwarzenegger we have for this era. Mm-hmm. Like as far as being in great action films that entertain, that tend to be pretty dumb. If you think Arnold doesn't do that, watch Last Action Hero. That will change your mind. But yeah, man, Dwayne Johnson, as a big wrestling fan, or Mark as we're known. It was looking a little rough there for him in the beginning. You know, he did Tooth Fairy and the Game Plan, and oh god, I'm trying to think of what else. That movie Faster, that was like a noir movie that I saw, but I don't think anyone else fucking did. It was looking a little rough for him at first. But then
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh god, yeah, that did happen too, didn't it? But then you got Fast 5. And then he started turning around, and I went, okay. You know, you got the Fast and Furious movies. He was a real big reason, because those movies were falling off. But then between him and James Wan, they turned something, you know, they turned chicken shit into chicken salad, you know. And he's really become a damn good action star. And this is part 1 of 2 of our double Johnson review. Two
Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, classic. 2 Johnsons, 2 movies, but
twice the Johnsons, twice the reviews.
Yeah, basically my favorite thing. Nothing better than 2 Johnsons. Am I right? But
he's been in. I mean, like Moana was a great movie.
I love. So I just watched. Just watched that. Maybe 6 weeks ago.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
He has 4 movies in pre-production right now. He's filming one, just completed one coming out in 2019, and he's got like 4 more announced coming up. So he is stocking full right now. He's hot commodity. Jumanji was good. We will have to review that, but yeah, I enjoyed Rampage, Skyscraper, just to name a few. Baywatch. We're gonna review those ones. Don't worry, guys.
So we reviewed Baywatch. I gotta admit, I was not a fan of it at first. It's grown on me a little bit. It's kind of dirty grandpa to me, where I've gone.
I remember not hating it.
Yeah, but I remember
it was still Baywatch. Yeah, it's still Baywatch. Yeah.
You guys have both liked me way more. But what I will say, I really enjoyed this. I gotta admit, I really enjoyed this. Way more, to be honest, than I thought I would. Kind of your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, going into this one, you kind of had a certain expectation for what it might be about. That's kind of how a lot of his movies are. I'm starting to realize, like, you know what you're getting into. They don't really try to hide anything with him. Like, he is the muscle in every single movie. I was unsure how they were going to portray the other animals and how they would go about, like, creating this virus and whatever disease they're going to spread, or how they're going to transform these regular sized animals into ginormous ones, and how are they going to tie everything together? Because it's one thing to make a video game about something and then just, it's like, no need for backstory. Let's just have these giant creatures beat the shit out of a city, and no one's going to ask any questions about that. When you make a movie, you really have to build some plot around it, and I didn't hate the concept that they came up with. It was obviously like far-fetched, and like there's no way in hell this would actually happen. This multi-billion-dollar company has built their own space station just so they could test this one like cell-changing product on animals, and shocker, it didn't go so well. So the whole thing basically exploded. Someone tried to get away, and in the process, like a few vials, there's like 4 vials of this stuff that kind of shot all around the country, and that's kind of how it came to be. But just speaking on that, it's, yes, far-fetched and completely ridiculous. I didn't really have a huge problem with it, and because you had to deliver it somehow, and it was going to be ridiculous no matter what you did.
So this is what I'll say. This is based on the Rampage video game from 1986. That's when it was initially done. For adults, it's weird to say, who are my age, you probably remember Rampage Total Destruction, which came out, or Rampage World Tour. That's what World Tour I was thinking of. That came out for the Nintendo 64. So honestly, this could have just fallen apart. So you're right. Basically, and this is why I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago I read that, we found that we might be able to clone dinosaurs in the next 5 years. I go, God, we just don't learn anything, do we? Like, from all the movies we put out about, isn't it amazing how when we take science and we fuck with it, how it always seems to go wrong? It's like, let's make dinosaurs. Why the fuck not? And I just go, why? Why does no one go, hey, we shouldn't do this. It's a really bad idea. But no, whatever. Fuck our lives. Like, it hurts my head. But I will say, for what this is, it starts off as a cure for cancer that you can basically edit. What is it, like every molecule, I believe, in the genetic code? I think that's how they explain it.
It was like something that overtook your immune system, or they tried not to get caught up on the details of this one.
That is true. They're like, whatever, accept it, it's fine. But so that's kind of where we land.
And it starts off in this space station where, like, they were trying this out on rats, and there was like this ginormous monster rat that I was like laughing at when I was watching. That was like, I mean, I feel like you have to be in the right mood with this movie. Would you agree? I feel like if you go into this like expecting some Sundance award-winning film with plot, then you're gonna be disappointed, that's for sure. And you should be able to expect something, but if you go into this knowing that this is gonna be kind of a crazy movie and they're going for action and it's The Rock, he's gonna try to own some shit, then I think you can have a good time with it, for sure.
So, I gotta be honest, man. So, did you have fun with it? I think that's the key question to ask, is did you have fun watching this?
I think for the most part I did, but
here we go.
There was a overlaying ridiculousness to it all. Just like, listen, watching The Rock sign to a green screen for like half of this movie is worth the price of admission. He's an animal expert, obviously. Here's the problem. I think here's the problem. I just don't accept that The Rock is like all of these things. Like when he's put in these certain roles like if he's like a he's in G.I. Joe, he's a cop in Fast 5 or something like that. But when they put him as this like scientist character, it just doesn't fit with his persona. It feels like to me. So that was hard for me to get through. But there was, lots of smashing. A lot of it had kind of a Pacific Rim kind of vibe to it with the giant monsters. And
I like this more than the last Pacific Rim, I will say. I like this more than Uprising.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's close.
You're wrong, so whatever's going on.
What did you like about this one?
So I will say the thing that, and you're going to give me so much shit for this, but it's fine. It was the dynamic between
The Rock and the ape?
George, yeah.
Between
Okoye and George, man. I liked it, man.
That's so dumb.
Dude, you know what? I think you're dumb. I think you don't feel. People love their pets, motherfucker. But I was sitting there watching and I went, oh, like I did that out loud. I went, oh fuck, they kind of got me. Like now,
you know what happens in the Rock movies? Nobody dies, and that's the same is true for the next movie we're about to review with him in it, Skyscraper. But no one dies in this.
That's not true. The bad people died.
Okay, bad people died in like millions of innocent civilians, but they don't show any of them. It's utter chaos downtown. Like people, like this is like Superman status.
It is very BVS in the way that there's
just like bashing through buildings and like taking people's lives left and right, and it's just like, oh, there's The Rock just running through the city.
They at least did make a point to say that half the city at least had been evacuated. So
yeah, no,
credit,
for sure, yeah, I guess, but it's like that Pacific Rim feel. I think they made it like it feel big. And I appreciated that. Sometimes they'll mess around with the CG and it ends up not feeling like the large scale that you're looking for out of a big monster movie. But I think they did a good job with that. I don't think that I have any complaints with that. It was just like the connection component with the ape and I knew it was going to happen, right? There wasn't any mystery. Not a lot of mystery in this one. Am I wrong with that?
So, there's not a whole lot of mystery, but I think the stuff they flush out. So George, when you find out how he came to kind of get George, I went, oh, like George was getting, hunted by poachers and
that's part of The Rock's background is he was like a poacher enforcement agent.
Yeah.
And because that's definitely a thing.
Don't be that guy.
Listen, okay, I know it's a thing. It's hard for me to take him seriously in any sort of serious character role. I just don't think he's a good enough actor for it. He just the acting overall in this movie is not good. I don't think that the chick opposite of him is any good. They try to make it at the end they kind of squash them together, oh hey, they want to be together at the end of this, because at the end the big fight scene, George is signs oh, you guys fucking, and he's yeah, we're together.
Dude, I laughed. I'm not even gonna lie, I laughed. I went, it's
funny when he flips him off. I like that.
He's going, would you say, ape shit?
No, I won't. I will not say that.
Well, that's your laws. It does have one of my least favorite actresses, Malin Ackerman, who plays Claire Wyden, who's one of the people trying to cover up all the hilarious shit. So she was, of course, Silk Spectre in Watchmen, which I still would kick her out of a window for because he sucked. But her and Jake Lacey, they're the guys who run what's the name of the company? EpiPen,
Epi Energy or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So
Interlicious or something.
Sure. So basically, they're going ahead and they're running this organization, and it's just a typical shady organization. So basically, any corporation essentially, and basically they've taken the DNA and everything that they got from the from that space shuttle, that expedition, which, by the way, they never explain. They write off and say, "Oh, the casing was secured to come back into orbit, but yet the pod wasn't."
This spaceship disintegrates, but all of these samples.
But all the samples are fine. I went, okay, movie.
And then so they have all this vested interest in these samples, so they can use all this technology and build more things. So what they do is they send out this team to go out and retrieve them. I just thought it was unnecessary that they were armed to the teeth. What was the point of that? Obviously they needed it because they turned into giant creatures, but I feel like they didn't know that going into it. So it was kind of overkill. But that was kind of where a lot of the action gets going, is this corporation sends out a team to go return all these samples to them, and lo and behold, is a big old kitty waiting for them.
Yeah. So, will you at least give me that you enjoyed the action? Will you at least give me that?
Yeah, for sure. It kept you on the edge of your seat, as far as there's a lot of good shock value scenes where a lot of silence and then it would break and someone would get eaten or something like that. I like that. But I think they did a good job with the animation and the action scenes overall. I think were well done.
Okay, so are you still watching Walking Dead, by the way? Or did you give up?
No, I'm done. I'm through it.
Yeah, because I threw in the towel 2 seasons ago. I was just I can't.
No, the Walking Dead is done. It's over.
No, there's another season this October, man. Dude, they're literally doing a Comic-Con panel about it this weekend.
Because I thought they just walked into the sunset on that one.
So they're on summer break, but it's coming back in fall.
Interesting.
So the reason I bring that up is because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who of course you know is Negan from Walking Dead,
right.
and of course known from Watchmen. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's a hell of an actor, and he plays Harvey Russell in here, and he's basically playing Negan except he has a Texas accent. He goes "Oh, my grandpa used to say assholes have to be assholes together, or us assholes have to stick together." Build a wall. I was okay. So I'm making fun of him, but I'm going to be honest, dude, he had me laughing, man.
Yeah, though, and he was a good character. He provided, he's the FBI agent in all this, and he ends up helping The Rock, because they're really the only ones that can get the antidote to him and find a solution for this entire thing. But I like that he didn't turn into a bad guy, which they could have easily done. They just kind of portrayed him as an asshole who ended up helping the cause. Yeah,
he could have been a goon. Let's not get it clear, because he was a goon at first. And I went, okay, the military guy being all dickish. I mean, not admittedly a familiar trope, but he does kind of loosen up a little bit, and I found him fun by the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think so. I liked his character throughout. I thought he was very effective in The Walking Dead, just because of how creepy and overly violent he was. And I think he carried, but it felt like the same character, right? It felt it was the same. It was very much the same mannerisms and the way he carried himself. So I don't know if it's that I don't know. Do you think that that's just his only go-to character, or maybe they really wanted him to just mirror that from The Walking Dead? But I think it played.
I think it felt like they just wanted him to mirror. Sorry, I realize I sound like Foghorn Leghorn there. I think that they wanted.
I'll say it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that they actually wanted him to pretty much just do Negan, kind of in the same way that when they did that terrible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, the second one, the Out of the Shadows. They're like, oh, hey, Stephen Amell, be Arrow, except all the things you're good at doing with that character. It felt like it felt similar to that with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Are you talking about TMNT?
No, I'm talking about Out of the Shadows, where they had Stephen Amell playing Casey Jones. Remember that?
Is that a live action?
That's a live action. That's the second live action one from Michael Bay, where they had Bebop and Rocksteady. They're on the tank.
No. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. It's on Amazon Prime. You should watch it. It's got Tyler, Uncle Tom's Cabin Perry in it, so you should totally watch it. But Tyler Perry's such a coon. Anyways, but back to the movie.
Let's not get distracted.
I'm sorry. I got something about Tyler Perry and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but yeah, it felt like they really wanted him to just kind of be that same character, and you could say that's cheap. That's fine. I was entertained by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I thought the action scenes worked really well. You have Naomi Harris, who plays Dr. Kate Caldwell, who you probably know her as Moneypenny in the Bond reboots that they've been doing here. Hope she comes back as Moneypenny, by the way, because she's great. And she's playing typical, scientist, disgraced scientist who has to, find a way to prove her worth by, fixing her mistake. I mean, look, this movie's full of tropes, and the more I'm sitting there thinking about it, I realize this is a tropey as fuck movie. Like, do not get me wrong, but between the action, The Rock being... Dwayne Johnson being Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So, yeah, what is he now? Is he going by Dwayne Johnson, or is it Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I just call him Dwayne Johnson. I think after all of the success he's had, he's earned just Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned.
Can we call him DJ? Does that work?
Oh, I like that. DJ. I really like that. But, I mean, as far as complaints, it's actually a complaint. They kept the movie under 2 hours, and I really appreciate that. That was
me too.
It was about an hour and 40 minutes. I went, you know what? That's about the perfect length phrasing for this movie. So kudos to them on that. The last 20 minutes is just a big giant monster brawl, which I will admit I was laughing the whole time. I went, cool. Like, this is just. It's a Royal Rumble. Oh, here comes the April for chair. By God, it basically stopped just short of being that. And George stabs a wolf who's gotten this chemical. The wolf can fly, by the way.
Yeah, they pull that out of nowhere.
Which I just went, cool, alright, fine, why not? I don't know, man.
The Rock has some good one-liners and oh, of course you can fly.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
He throws a bunch of those in there.
Yeah, I laughed. I laughed really hard at that. I went, okay, that's cheesy, but I'll laugh. But I don't know, man. I did enjoy this. I mean, were there any huge complaints that you had?
I mean, just overall acting in general, I think. I don't know how much more of The Rock just stare I can take. He just has a kind of a confused. It's kind of his brow is a little bit furrowed, and he's staring intently, and mouth slightly open. I feel like he uses that a lot, and that's his go-to look. I saw it in this one. I saw it in Skyscraper, and like I said before we started, it's quite an experience seeing two action-packed Rock movies back to back, and I got the full experience of it. I don't know. I think that there are some redeeming qualities, but nothing that stood out as completely ridiculous. Besides, the giant monsters.
So I feel like I'm about to channel my inner Colin on this grade. I was sitting there watching it, man, and I think I can't believe I'm do this because I went into this watching this. I watched this at home. I went, okay, this is insane. But I think, man, for a solid, I think a solid B plus. I think that's about where this lands for me because I was about to say A minus. I'm like, that's too generous. I think a B plus is, seeing this at an $8 matinee around there. I think I could justify people seeing that. I don't think you would leave disappointed. So it's all B plus for me. So if you get this even, on digital, it's on sale for like $10 or something like that. If you bought it, I'd be like, you might revisit this at some point. So yeah, it's all B plus for me. Scott, kind of your final thoughts and grades, sir.
I was not real impressed by this one.
I gotta fuck with
there was just too much that I couldn't look past. Like the acting, the guy in this. Let's see, what is his name? Is it Jake Lacey? Oh yeah. No, not I'm sorry, not him. He's one of the trainees basically who is like a wildlife primitive trainee. Jack Quaid maybe is his name. Yeah, this guy who plays Connor, who is like an intern at the San Diego Zoo or whatever where The Rock works. And like that kid was very silly. And not in a good way. I don't know. I couldn't take the acting seriously. A ton of like green screen that kind of took me out of it.
You don't have actual apes that big, Scott.
Well, make it better. Put some work into it. The action was decent. I don't know. I was just not like super enthralled overall by this. And then they kind of tried to throw this friendship, like he only really connects with animals and not really humans because he's like a weirdo, but it's The Rock who's like this Adonis looking man. It was hard to, the whole thing was just, I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't really get into it. So I wouldn't recommend this. I don't think I'm ever going to see it again. I just couldn't get in certain movies. I thought I might be like, in this instance, like Pacific Rim, I would just take it for what it is, but I just couldn't. He's signing this gorilla or ape or whatever it is, like the entire movie, like it knows sign language, so they're like signing to each other, and I'm like, there's no way that The Rock knows sign language. It just doesn't. That's not possible.
Wow, so now you're saying he's just a big old dumb actor.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I would give this a C-.
Oh, really? A C-?
Below average.
Oh, god damn it! You were
below average.
Oh, you're making me sick.
The Rock can do. The Rock can quit your belly aching. The Rock can do better. It can do better.
A C-? If you give Skyscraper a C-, I'm gonna be very upset with you.
But... Ooh, now I want to.
Oh, you son of a bitch! But yeah, so I rarely say this, but don't listen to Scott's opinion.
Whatever.
You know what,
Hunter? You can just. Why don't you go to GameStop and get Rampage, and then you shove it up your butt or something.
Only if you record it, big boy. I don't know.
Easy now. I'm not that easy.
Agree to disagree. I've seen you drunk, but I don't know. But
don't see this movie. Is that the point?
Don't listen to Scott. It's a good movie. Damn it! I can't believe you gave it such a
not a good movie. Don't listen to Hunter.
Again, don't listen to Scott. But guys, what did you think of Rampage? It's better than Scott rates it. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. You can follow us on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play Music at The Real Pineapple. Follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. It's better than Scott thinks. Go ahead and follow our buddy Colin. We miss you, buddy, at The Real. That's REEL O'Neill. And you can follow Scott on Twitter at
Newman the First.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll have reviews up this weekend for Equalizer 2. Yay! And for Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Boo! Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.